What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing some hypertrophy lower. It is the third workout for this week, so the primary focus is going to be deadlift. The variation I'm doing is conventional deadlift. The reason why I'm starting with conventional deadlift in this training block is because it hits the glutes, the hamstrings, the erectors, and the lats. All right. By doing compound movements, you're getting the most bang out of your buck. All right. It's targeting the most muscles. I can lift heavy weights with the best form before the fatigue starts kicking in. All right. So that's why I'm starting out with conventional deadlifts first. I also am choosing to do conventional deadlifts in a hypertrophy phase because even though absolute strength isn't the goal, this will help me maintain a foundation before I get into the strength block. All right, so let's get into this. All right, so as y'all noticed, when I start my workout, I always start out with a compound movement, whether it's a squat, a bench, deadlift, or an overhead press. The reason why I always start out with a compound movement is because a compound movement will recruit the most muscle fibers. So again, you're getting the most bang out of your buck. On compound movements, you have to use your body to brace the movement, all right? You have to use your body to stabilize yourself. On machines, you're not doing that. So I am very fond of compound movements, all right? You're getting the most out of what you're putting in, all right? That doesn't mean I don't do machines, and that doesn't mean I don't do isolation movements. I save those for the end of the workout. All right, just doing some warm-up sets here. Just with the plate, about 8 to 10 reps. Throw on another plate, again, 5 to 10 reps. When the bar starts slowing down, I'll start going into anywhere from 1 to 3 reps. And then once I get to about 50% of my 1 rep max, that's when I throw on the belts. All right, going on a second plate. Maybe I'll make a video that's more focused on this, but I'm just gonna quickly go over how I'm doing the hook rip. All right, I'm grabbing the bar like this, and I'm putting the bar within the web of my thumbs, and then I'm wrapping around that knuckle. Same thing here, I'm just wrapping around the knuckle. Like I said, I'll make a video explaining this better when that's the intent and focus of the video. Today's just a deadlift workout, but that's what I'm doing when I'm grabbing the barbell for a deadlift. Warm-up set I do before my working weight is usually just 1 or 2 reps. All right, the goal of warming up is just to get your body ready for the movement and not to wear yourself out. So if you're doing a bunch of reps in the warm-up, all right, you're doing too many of them, you're taking out of your actual working set. All right, you got to pick your battles, all right, when you want to go hard. All right, going hard all the time could be just like someone banging their head over the wall and hoping that it's gonna knock down, right? I'm going to failure. I'm gonna bang my head against this wall with no intention, and then one day it's gonna knock down. But then you'll have someone who says, hey, I got a better way to knock this down. I'm gonna hit it into structural points. I'm gonna hit it smartly, so I'm not wearing myself out. And not only can I do it to this wall, I could do it to the next 10 walls and I won't be tired. That's what I'm doing. All right, so for today's deadlift lower body hypertrophy day, for my first movement, which is the conventional deadlift, I'm doing 4 sets of 8 with 375 pounds. So set number 1. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, last set of the 4 sets of 8. I'm not gonna record the sets in between, so you just got to trust that I did it. But like I said, last set. This last set is probably the most important to me because this will dictate next week of how much weight I put on, right? Or if the weight's moving too slow and I know that putting on weight, I'll still won't be able to hit 8 reps, then I'm gonna lower, in order to put on more weight, I will reduce the reps. But it all dictates onto this last set, all right? This last set is gonna give me the data I need to figure out what I'm lifting for next week. So after the conventional deadlifts for hypertrophy, we're gonna move into our secondary movement. The secondary movement supports the main movement. So the secondary movement I'm doing is gonna be slight deficit snatch grip deadlifts, all right? I'm basically doing the deficit to make it a little bit harder, all right? That's the next progression up. So to do that, I'm adding a slight deficit, all right? I believe the coined term is off a TikTok dick deficit. But so I'm gonna be doing deficit snatch grip deadlifts off a slight deficit. And with snatch grip deadlifts, by having your arms out wider, you're working more of your upper back, your rear delts, and your traps, all right? This is very good for the conventional deadlift, all right? Very, very, very good for that top end lockout strength, all right? Even though I have the straps on these, I'm still using my thumbs. I'm using my thumbs and my index finger just like the hook grip, but then I'm also using the straps on my pinkies. So I'm still getting a little bit of grip work in there. includes the deadlift portion. All right, so what I got going for pendulum squats, and yes, I said it, pendulum. Yes, I mispronounce things because I'm hard of hearing, but I purposely pronounce pendulum squats as pendulum squats. I got about 50 pounds on the stack. I use 25-pound plates because they're easy to just load and unload. I'm going for 5 sets up to 20, right? So if I could get to 20, I'm gonna add 5 more pounds, all right? It's okay if I don't get to 20. I did enough repetitions before, but I'm gonna get 5 sets. I'm aiming for 20. Once I can get 20, 5 more pounds for the next set. If I don't get up to 20, that's fine. I just hit some failure. So here's first set. Oh yeah, that was a warm-up. Probably have to throw on 10 pounds. All right, so I made it to my last set with a weight that has constant tension and is a little bit of a struggle getting to 20 reps, all right? So this is all I'm gonna film for my accessory work because, you know, like, does anyone really want to see some leg extensions? Because I mean, if you want to see a leg extension, I can show you that, but I got to charge you a monthly subscription, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah, that's it for today's workout. If you learned something new, like hook rip, or how to do some volume better, or whatnot, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, that helps me out. And most importantly, have yourself a nice day.